The rules of power. Never reveal these 7 things about yourself. Mike learned the truth too late. It wasn't the enemies who destroyed him. It was the people who smiled while collecting information. Every word he shared became leverage. Every weakness he revealed became a weapon. And the moment he understood this rule of power, his life split into before and after. If you're watching this, you already sense something is off. Stay until the end, because power doesn't come from domination. It comes from controlled invisibility. Before the betrayal, Mike believed honesty was strength. He spoke openly, shared plans, trusted loyalty. At work, he explained too much. In friendships, he revealed too much. In private moments, he exposed his fears. And people listened, not with care, with calculation. The betrayal didn't come as violence, it came as strategy. Promotion stolen, reputation quietly undermined, allies turning distant. That's when Mike realized something terrifying. People don't betray what they don't understand. Ethical disclaimer. Before this goes further, understand this clearly. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction, for awareness, not manipulation, for self-mastery, not cruelty. If your goal is harm, stop here. If your goal is immunity, continue. The psychological awakening. Machiavelli warned him first. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand. Jung warned him next. What you reveal becomes part of the shadow economy. The Stoics taught him restraint. Nietzsche taught him silence. And from betrayal, Mike learned power. Here are the 10 rules of power. Never reveal these. Rule 1. Never reveal your long-term plans. Mike told coworkers his future goals. They smiled, then blocked him. Plans invite competition. Silence invites mystery. Machiavelli understood this. What is known can be sabotaged. Power moves in silence. Rule 2. Never reveal your weak points. People say vulnerability builds trust. That's a lie, told by those who benefit from your openness. Jung warned, your shadow is currency. Mike noticed that once his fears were known, they were triggered intentionally. Emotionally untouchable men weaponize discretion. Rule 3. Never reveal how much you care. Care creates leverage. When people know what you value, they can threaten it. Stoicism teaches this brutally. Cost their care lightly or suffer deeply. Mike learned to care without advertising it. Rule 4. Never reveal your next move. Conspiracies thrive on prediction. When people can anticipate you, they can corner you. Mike stopped explaining decisions, stopped justifying silence. Nietzsche said, the strongest men are misunderstood. Good. Rule 5. Never reveal your true opinions too early. People test alignment before they betray. Mike noticed something chilling. The moment he disagreed openly, whispers started. Power observes first, then speaks. Rule 6. Never reveal your pain to the wrong audience. Pain attracts predators disguised as comfort. Mike learned that sympathy can be surveillance. Jung would say, some people don't want to heal you, they want to study your wounds. Rule 7. Never reveal your source of confidence. If people know where your strength comes from, they will attack it. Mike stopped crediting others, stopped explaining his mindset. Confidence without explanation is intimidating. Rule 8. Never reveal what you're willing to tolerate. Boundaries spoken are boundaries tested. Mike stopped announcing limits. He enforced them quietly. Stoic discipline made it simple. One violation, one distance. Rule 9. Never reveal how much you know. Knowledge makes people nervous. Mike noticed when he stayed silent, others exposed themselves. Machiavelli smiled at this principle. Let them underestimate you. Rule 10. Never reveal when you figured them out. This is the most dangerous rule. Once Mike saw the conspiracy, he didn't confront, he repositioned. Power doesn't accuse, it adjusts. Something changed. People felt it. Mike spoke less, observed more, moved differently. Some panicked. Some tried to distance themselves. Some tried to regain access. Too late, because once you see the game, you can't be played. If this resonates, type this in the comment section. Silence is my advantage. I reveal nothing that can be used against me. I move in shadows, not weakness. Words shape identity. This path costs you comfort. You will lose fake allies. You will be misunderstood. You will feel alone at first, but you will be safe. And safety is the foundation of power. Mike is no longer the man who explains. He doesn't seek validation. He doesn't announce intentions. He doesn't expose his inner world, not because he's paranoid, but because he's awake. And when people ask how he became untouchable, he doesn't answer, because power doesn't teach, it exists. Mike didn't lose people by accident. He lost them the moment he stopped feeding them information. Because once you stop revealing yourself, you expose something far dangerous, their dependence on your openness. This is where betrayal evolves into conspiracy. The conspiracy isn't secret meetings. It isn't whispered plans in dark rooms. It's subtle. People sharing concerns about you, questions framed as worry, silence framed as professionalism. Mike noticed something chilling. The less he spoke, the more others spoke about him. And that's when he understood. Silence threatens systems built on access. Rule 11. Never reveal when you feel isolated. Isolation is a test. When people sense loneliness, they offer help with strings attached. Real-life scenario. Mike stopped being invited, stopped being included. Old Mike would have confessed insecurity. New Mike didn't. Stoicism teaches this clearly. Endure, and you will rule yourself. Loneliness endured becomes independence. Rule 12. Never reveal your moral limits. This is dangerous knowledge. When people know what you won't do, they push you towards it strategically. Mike learned this at work. They knew he wouldn't betray, so they betrayed him first. Machiavelli warned, those who are too moral are easy to predict. Power keeps its limits private. Rule 14. Never reveal your forgiveness speed. Fast forgiveness invites repeated offense. Mike slowed down, not with anger, with memory. Nietzsche said, forgetfulness is strength, but selective memory is dominance. Rule 15. Never reveal your exit strategy. This rule saved Mike. When things collapsed, no one knew where he was going. That terrified them, because power hates uncertainty. The Stoics mastered this. Move without announcement, leave without explanation. There was a moment, a conversation that ended too quickly, a smile held too long, a silence that answered everything. Mike didn't confront, he watched. Jung would call this the moment the shadow reveals itself, and once seen, it can't be unseen. Mike's presence changed. He spoke when necessary, left when energy shifted, stopped reacting entirely. People noticed.
Some tried to provoke him. Some tried to pull him back emotionally. Some tried to intimidate. None worked, because emotionally untouchable men don't fight the game, they outgrow it. If you're still watching, type this in the comment below. I observe more than I speak. Silence is my defense. I don't reveal power, I preserve it. Your mind listens to what you declare. This level of awareness changes you. You will no longer fit in careless spaces. You will notice manipulation instantly. You will feel emotionally distant from chaos. This is not coldness, this is clarity. Mike isn't angry. Anger is loud. Anger is readable. Mike is calm. And calm men are dangerous because nothing leaks from them.
He doesn't reveal plans. He doesn't reveal pain. He doesn't reveal power. Not because he fears betrayal, but because he expects reality. And reality rewards the prepared. Mike didn't become powerful when he learned the rules. He became powerful when he realized how coordinated the betrayal was. It wasn't one person. It wasn't one moment. It was a system. And systems collapse when they lose visibility. At first, Mike thought it was paranoia. Then patterns appeared. Conversations repeated word for word. Decisions made before meetings began. Opinions formed before facts were presented. That's when it hit him. Information was circulating without him. And the only source it ever came from was the version of Mike who talked too much. The betrayal wasn't personal, it was procedural. Jung warned about this moment. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Mike stopped calling it bad luck, stopped calling it misunderstanding. He called it what it was: shadow coordination. People aligning unconsciously around shared incentives. And the moment Mike withdrew emotional access, the system lost its fuel. Something unexpected happened. Mike didn't fight back. He didn't defend himself, didn't clarify rumors, didn't correct narratives. He stayed silent. And silence did what arguments never could. It destabilized everyone. Because when you don't explain yourself, people are forced to explain themselves. Old Mike would have burned inside, replayed conversations, imagined revenge, searched for justice. New Mike did something different. He controlled only one thing: his internal state. Stoicism taught him the final truth. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. He changed the estimate, and the pain vanished. Nietzsche would have recognized him now, a man no longer ruled by approval, no longer shaped by reaction, no longer dependent on belonging. Mike stopped needing to be liked, and in that moment, he became unmanageable. Not aggressive, not dominant, unpredictable. And unpredictability terrifies systems built on control. There was one last attempt, a forced confrontation, a false concern, an invitation to clear the air. Old Mike would have gone. New Mike declined. No explanation, no emotion, no justification. That was the moment the conspiracy ended. Not with exposure, but with irrelevance. If you've made it this far, type this comment below. I reveal nothing that weakens me. Silence is my strategy. I cannot be manipulated. These are not comments, they are declarations. This awareness is not for cruelty, not for manipulation, not for paranoia. It is for self-defense in a world that studies weakness. Protection, not destruction.
because the man who seeks to control others has already lost control of himself. Mike is no longer hunted because he is no longer visible to those who hunt. He doesn't announce moves, he doesn't explain silence, he doesn't correct lies. He lets time do that. And time always sides with the man who doesn't leak himself. Mike didn't become feared, he became unreadable. And in a world built on surveillance, that is the highest form of power. There is a phase no one talks about, after betrayal, after awakening, after silence becomes permanent. It's the phase where nothing dramatic happens. No revenge, no apology, no closure. Just distance. And distance is where Mike finally won. People tried. They watched his tone, his posture, his timing. But there was nothing to grab onto. No emotional leaks, no predictable reactions, no visible ambition. Mike had become something rare, psychologically private. And privacy in a world addicted to exposure is dominance. Mike used to think power was influence. He was wrong. Power is non-access. When people can't read you, trigger you, predict you, use you, they stop trying to control you. Not because they respect you, but because they can't penetrate you. That's when Mike understood. The strongest position is not opposition. It's absence from the battlefield. Conspiracies don't collapse from exposure. They collapse from starvation. No information, no reactions, no emotional feedback. Mike didn't expose anyone. He let their coordination turn inward. Without a target, they turned on each other. This is what Machiavelli never wrote openly. Silence creates a vacuum. Vacuum creates collapse. Something else happened quietly. Mike stopped narrating his own life. No internal monologues, no imaginary arguments, no need to be understood. Jung would call this integration. Nietzsche would call it liberation. Mike called it peace. Not soft peace, unshakable peace. Yes, he lost people, but what he really lost were projections. People who needed him open, predictable, accessible. When those people left, nothing collapsed. That's how he knew they were never essential. Mike didn't become cruel. Cruelty still reacts. He didn't become arrogant. Arrogance still seeks recognition. He became neutral. And neutrality is terrifying to anyone who relies on emotional leverage. Mike could walk away without anger, stay without attachment, listen without surrender. That was the final form. If you're still here, comment this below. I am unreadable. Nothing about me is public property. I move without explanation. These are not affirmations, they are boundaries. This is not about hiding from life. It's about choosing what has access to you. Protection, not destruction. Because the man who weaponizes psychology against others will eventually become its victim. Mike doesn't warn, doesn't threaten, doesn't explain. He observes, he adjusts, he exits when necessary. No emotional footprints, no strategic noise. And that is why nothing sticks to him anymore. In a world built on exposure, he chose invisibility. In a world built on reaction, he chose stillness. And in a world obsessed with power, he became untouchable by refusing to reveal himself. This is not secrecy. This is sovereignty.